Hey guys, what's up? For Argument of Hobo here, welcome back to another Top 10. Today's Top 10, another Top 10 beat-em-ups. On the last video, I didn't even scratch the surface of great beat-em-ups, and this video I still haven't. I went around and taking suggestions, and I got a bombardment of suggestions for great ones, and sadly I'm not able to fit them all here, but hey, there's always a Top 10 beat-em-ups Part 3 we could do. But let's waste no more time and get started immediately with
Streets of Rage 2 on the Genesis. When I did my first top 10 beat-em-ups, a lot of people asked me why I didn't include this one. Well, the answer is very simple. I didn't have it. I didn't have a Genesis when I was a kid. My first system was the Game Boy Color and the N64. But, now thanks to a certain collection called the Sega Vintage Collection Streets of Rage, I was able to experience this game. And now, after playing it, I can see why people rave about it. It's fantastic. When just beating up enemies is satisfying, you know you got a great game on your hands, and this one sure is. Great music, great combat, just wow. Now, I didn't experience the entire game for this recording. I only played the first level on easy mode, so I'm by no means a Streets of Rage 2 expert, but I can certainly see now why people rave about it, so yeah, this one's great. Check it out. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie for the Genesis. Guys, I could go on forever about how I grew up with Power Rangers and I love them and I prefer the White Ranger over the Green Ranger, blah blah blah, but that's not what you guys are here to see. Nope, so let's talk about the Genesis game of the movie. This is arguably the best Power Rangers game ever made. I mean, everyone has their opinions and there's great games on the SNES too, but this game, in my opinion, is the best Power Rangers game, at least for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, ever. If you've got a Genesis or you're planning on getting one, this game should be in your library or on your radar. It's just that good. Fun combat, generous difficulty, and follows the movie mostly, but it does gloss over a lot of major parts and even goes back to the show occasionally, playing as Jason, Srini, and Zack. That's cool too, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. Arguably, the best Ninja Turtles game ever made, right up there with Hyperstone Heist. No, these two games are not the same. Hyperstone Heist is not a bad port, but that's not what we're here to debate today. A great part of the arcade game by the same name, Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo is probably the best Ninja Turtles game the Nintendo players will ever get. It's just, seriously, no game has ever surpassed this recently. Simple but fun gameplay, great responsive controls, fun with friends and co-op, and great respect for the source material. Super Nintendo owners should have this in their collection, so if you're gonna get one, make sure you get this too. This is just worth the price. Trust me on that. Final Fight. Without a doubt, one of the quintessential arcade beat-em-ups. Seriously, if you're a beat-em-up fan and you haven't experienced this game, what are you doing? This game was one of the cornerstones of beat-em-ups as we know them today, with 3 playable characters, fun combat, weapons, a great story, blah blah blah. You've heard all this before. And there are many ways to play the original arcade, and I will explain my way shortly. But for now, let's go on to the next game, since quite frankly this game needs to be experienced to be believed. Knights of the Round. Capcom has had many games under their belts, but none of them, except for this one, have had to do with Arthurian lore and just wow. Like others of Capcom's beat-em-ups, this follows the keep it simple stupid formula and just makes the game great just by being simple. Like most games, you've only got 2 buttons, attack and jump, but wow, this game makes great despite that. With 3 playable characters as before, the strong one, the fast one, and the well-rounded one, overall, this is just another great game you need to experience, and I have a great way to experience it as well. You'll find out shortly. Captain Commando. The last 3 games I just talked about are all great arcade games, but of the 3, Captain Commando has to be the best, at least from Capcom. It takes everything that was great about the last 2 and just improves upon them, as well as adding some extra little, violent bits the others didn't do as well. And this time it extends the roster to 4 playable characters, as well as just having a much more interesting story than just go get the Holy Grail or go save the girl. This one saved the entire city. That's pretty cool too, right? With the more gritty, violent tone and overall just better gameplay, I would say all 3 of these games are great, and you can experience all 3 of these for less than $50 with the Capcom Classics collections for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Seriously, get these games, they're great. Scooby-Doo First Frights. Now I know what some of you are thinking. What the heck, Hobo? Why the heck is there a Scooby-Doo game on this list? What are you thinking? Well, the reason is simple. It's a great beat 'em up, very much like the Lego games. In fact, it basically stole the formula, but hey, you know, that's not bad. I mean, that's just how you survive in business, right? 5 playable characters, each with their own abilities and new abilities and unlockable costumes, a really cool story, and really, this feels like a prototype of an unreleased Scooby-Doo show. Guys, if you're a Scooby-Doo fan, you really gotta check this one out. Heck, they even threw in chase levels with Shaggy and Scooby. If that's not Scooby-Doo, I don't know what is. Seriously guys, this gets a lot less praise than it deserves. Seriously, check it out. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Lord of the Rings, that epic tale of the ring and the hobbits and all that fun stuff. Just go watch the movies if you haven't. And this game is an excellent example of how you can turn Lord of the Rings into a video game. With fun combat, level experience, and a lot of enemies to fight, this game's pretty cool. And yes, you could argue it's more of an action RPG than a beat 'em up, but hey, I'm calling it a beat 'em up, it's my list, you do what you want on your list. With 3 different paths to walk is a bunch of different characters, all who play differently, this game is definitely a great game, and you definitely should add it to your list if you like beat 'em ups / action RPGs. Heck, it's a beat 'em up, I don't care. Dungeons and Dragons, Chronicles of Mystaria. Okay, so, remember how I said that Captain Commando was the best Capcom beat 'em up arcade game? Well, guess what? I lied. This is the first beat 'em up arcade game that I'm aware of that plays like an action RPG. You can level up, there's branching pathways of 5 different characters that all have their own abilities. Wow, this game is great if you're a D&D fan or not. With fun combat, great respect for the source material, and a bunch of playability, this is actually 2 arcade games rolled into one. You can get them both digitally with infinite credits. Really, where can you get a better deal than that? You can get this on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever console you can get it on, get it. Seriously, this game is worth it.
So picking the #1 spot was a lot trickier this time. The last time I knew exactly what it was going to be, but this time I had to think about it a little bit, but finally decided. Let's give this list a little sugar with
Evil Dead Regeneration. Now this is a game based on a what-if story. What if Ash didn't get sucked into the portal at the end of Evil Dead 2? What we have here is a great beat 'em up with multiple weapons, different kinds of guns, different kinds of hand weapons, and of course, Sam. Who is Sam, you ask? He's your half-man, half-beta ally that you will use and abuse to kill the Deadites, solve puzzles, and save the world. Now, I'm keeping this pretty sparse because I want to talk about this properly on my channel later, but if you're an Evil Dead fan, you need to stop watching this right now and go get it. It's seriously great if you're an Evil Dead fan, and even if you're not, it's still a great game.
Well, there you have it. Round 2 of my top 10 beat 'em ups games. And you know what? There's so many great ones that round 3 is borderline inevitable, but we'll save that for another time. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Hobo out!